breaking news here on the Rich Eisen Show. The latest match pairings have been announced. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce to face off against Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson at the Wynn in the match on June 29th in Las Vegas. It will be televised by TNT with Bleacher Report providing the lead coverage. All right, here's my I love the match, first of all. I think it's a great concept. They mic guys up.
Great idea.
They have a good time.
Yeah, they only play 12 holes, and there's a lot of they do some fun gimmicks where it's like, you can only use one club. Sometimes it's alternating shot. It's a really fun. It's a fun event.
I love it. Well, they're going to need to figure out a way to level the playing field because you were looking up some handicaps here. I think Mahomes
find some, yeah.
is a 7. I can't imagine Kelce's much better than that. Steph,
Kelce's an 11.
Steph could play on the mini tours. I'm not going to say the PGA Tour, but he's a scratch golfer.
Yeah,
and by the way, he plays year round. He plays all the time.
Yep.
You know, if they don't have a practice and they have an off day up there in the Bay Area, he's out there on the golf course.
Looks like Klay's about a 15.
Legit. He's anywhere from a scratch golfer to a +2.
Yeah, he's good.
So, they're going to have to maybe he'll have to play a couple of holes with just a pitching wedge, or he'll have to putt with a driver.
Right.
But it is fun. It's a fun concept, and I love the fact you're pitting. I mean, we've seen Brady and Peyton, we've seen Aaron Rodgers. I like the crossover sports. I like having two teammates play two teammates from two different sports.
I think it's great. I love it. I love the teammate idea. I love that these guys are fun personalities. We know these guys. We know Steph Curry. He's in commercials. We've seen him everywhere. We definitely know Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce hosted Saturday Night Live. We've seen Klay Thompson go on Instagram with his boat. Like, we know these guys are big personalities. They're going to have a good time. There's definitely going to be some beers flowing out there, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Charles Barkley gets on the mic. He gives these guys a hard time. The banter is up, and I love the match. I can't wait to see this.
So Curry debuted in the match in 2020, teamed up with Peyton Manning against Charles Barkley and Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson and Barkley beat Curry and Manning 4-3, which is pretty healthy.
Got a professional golfer. I mean, you got one of the top 5 players maybe ever. Phil,
yeah, but you're still playing with Barkley, who's like the biggest handicap on the golf course in the world.
That's true. True. I do wish there was maybe a pro element involved, like get some of the young faces out there. Maybe they could have a threesome, but this is fun too. I think this is going to be great.
Yeah, no, listen, I think.
And then it's the week before 4th of July. There's nothing going on. We're in the middle of just the daily baseball grind. So to have this kind of event with some football and basketball stars out there, and who knows, maybe the Warriors are coming off of another title. And so that would make that.
Well, let's not get crazy here. I mean, come on.
I'm just saying.
Didn't you see game 1?
Maybe. I don't know.
Gosh. My goodness, how quickly we forget about the dominance of Anthony Davis.
Game 1.
No, it is fun. I like what golf's doing. Of course, their hand has been forced somewhat by the Live Tour in terms of jacking up the pots, but I'm blanking on the name of, I'm thinking Breakpoint, which is the tennis show, but the Netflix show, the golf
Full Swing.
Full Swing. I mean, it was great.
It was great.
I mean, you learned about some of these guys you didn't know a lot about, and now suddenly you're rooting for them. In tournaments, you're looking on the scores to see where they are and if they made the cut. And man, I was going to say it is not John Dahmer, but who's the
Joel Damon?
Damon, what a likable
guy wears the
dude.
Bucket hat and
you just see these guys. You just kind of you pull back the curtain and you see a side of these guys you don't see. When Damon says, "I go into most tournaments not thinking I can win," essentially. Especially if they're on certain courses or certain guys are in the field, you're like, how does a professional athlete lack that kind of confidence?
Even though he knows that he's, top 50, top 60, he's one of the elite of the elites in the world at something. Yeah, it's just, I love that Netflix series. I love any of these types of documentaries where you get these guys a chance to show some personality, and then you can actually see the grind that these guys put themselves through to be at the top of their craft. It was a really fascinating. They're doing a second season. Again, can't wait.
Well, it started obviously with the F1 series, Drive to Survive,
Right, and the same production people,
and they
did the golf, did the tennis. Yeah,
they do such a good job. I would love to see it for an NBA team in season. We're starting to see it now in the NFL. Obviously, it started with Hard Knocks, which was just training camp. But I think Amazon was the first one to do a season with the Cardinals, and now we're seeing in-season shows with teams. But whether it's baseball or whether it's basketball, listen, the ratings for baseball haven't exactly been on a rocket ship the last decade. Why not follow a baseball team around for a season?
It would be great. I actually love the idea of the in-season Hard Knocks. I don't know how well that rated at all, but if there was a way to do it for like maybe 2 weeks at a time, just it feels like 1 week isn't enough with the turnaround.
Right.
To kind of throw that out there like they do Hard Knocks for training camp. But any types of these shows where you can get these guys, you're just looking for access, right? And so it's too bad the Patriots would never do something like this. You want your favorite teams to do it because you want to know what goes on behind the curtain without, having to be a beat writer. And that's why, beat writers are so important because they kind of give you a little glimpse. But these shows are just so well done now.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.